homesteading to prepping to common horse sense, we are College Hill Farm. Welcome back to College Hill Farm. Well, today it's time to stake our tomatoes. I've done it this way for a long time. I'm going to show you how I stake mine. Now these are indeterminate tomatoes. That means that they're going to grow, the vines are going to grow 10 or 11 feet long. So I put them in a 5-foot cage. Well, to hold that 5-foot cage, it takes a substantial amount of pressure. And I'm going to put 5 or 6 together, and that makes it even more pressure. So what I do is I start off installing T-posts, and then I'll show you what I do as I go. So let's get started by putting some T-posts in the ground. One. Okay, 2 posts in. I just drive them down until the tang is under the dirt. That's all. You don't have to drive them forever. You're just holding up tomato cages. Now, okay, the next thing is I want to clear out all the weeds that are around the tomatoes. You've seen me hoe before. You don't need to see that, but I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Okay, once I've got the weeds hoed out around my tomatoes, then I take wire. This is a 17 gauge. It's that cheapest electric fence wire that you can get, the 17 gauge galvanized wire. This was on the property already in the grown up fence rows, and I cut it into short lengths and pulled it out because you couldn't pull it out as a whole thing. But it's perfect for this. So I've reused this now for about 6 or 7 years. So it's great for doing this. I've just got these short lengths, and I'll explain why I don't put these posts, why I leave a gap. I'll explain that in a minute. Go ahead and get this wire on. And on each post, all you need is 2 wires. Okay, I'm ready to put on a cage. So, if I want to put a cage on, I get one of my cages and I snake it over this tomato. Now you want to get it to where it goes down without catching any of the leaves or any of that. Okay, that cage is on and it sets back against the wire. Now, one thing you can do if you want to is push the cage down in the ground just a little bit. Then I just take a cable tie, the cheap old dollar store cable ties, put it around the wire and around the wire of the cage. And that cage is secure till next spring. So I'm going to get down this row here and put it on all the other tomatoes as I go down this row. Now, inevitably, you break a few, okay? It won't hurt nothing, all right? Just throw them away out of your garden. It won't hurt a thing. I use these cheap dollar store cable ties. I went to buy them this morning and they were $2.95 for 40. That's real high. I'll go to the Family Dollar next time. They're $1.50 for 40. Of course, they're not as heavy duty, but you don't need heavy duty for this. Just one of those small cable ties is all you got to have to hold these tomato cages. It's not rocket science. I've had people say, well, that'll blow over. It won't. Trust me. 8 years, no blowovers. Now, let me show you why I do it in individual short distances on 2 T-posts at a time. Okay, here's our cages up close. You'll see I just take the cable ties and make them close into the wire. All of them down through here. That way, 2 cable ties per thing. You'll notice this cage is bent pretty bad. The tomato won't mind, trust me. Now, when I get to the end here, I put the cable tie on the T-post. There's no specific reason for that, but you'll notice the tomato here is a little past the wire. Now, when I do this again, my next T-post will go right here, and then there'll be a cage on this tomato. And I will leave this spot right here empty. Well, the reason I do that is, as you're going down through here, this 100-foot row of tomatoes, you won't be able to reach every tomato from one side. So inevitably, you're going to have to come down through here and go to the other side to harvest some. Well, this way it leaves me places where I can step through to get to the other side of the tomatoes so I can harvest. So I leave these short places, which it allows me to use short pieces of wire. If your wire is longer than what you need, you can wrap it up here like this. Then I just curl it up and let it dangle. Won't hurt a thing. So I've got, how many did I do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 out of 50 or 48. So I got 41 more tomato plants to do. So down to end down there, those tomato plants are getting a lot bigger. So I may have to do something different for them. Okay. So that's how we cage our indeterminate tomatoes. Now these things, this is a 5-foot tomato cage. You can see right here's the top of the cage and here's my head. So we're talking 5 feet. And what's going to happen is this tomato is going to grow up, come out the top, and trail down the side until it almost touches the ground again. So these big old indeterminate tomatoes, they're going to grow all summer long, and going to put tomatoes on all summer long. Now I don't prune my tomatoes, I just let them grow. And we'll have tomatoes all summer. We'll can them. Indeterminates, we don't can. We'll freeze them. We'll dry them. We'll eat them. We'll eat a lot. So if you like this stuff, this homesteading, do-it-yourself kind of thing, be certain to come on out to the channel and subscribe. We do this homestead stuff all the time, sometimes 1, sometimes 5 videos. Just depends on what's going on in the homestead that week. Now if you hit the little bell when you come to the channel, it'll notify you when we upload a video. We upload every Sunday. Now, with that being said, it's time for me to get on to the next thing and finish caging these tomatoes. I don't know if I get it done today. That sun's starting to get hot.